Hello and welcome to SouthTech tutorials. Today I'm back with another video taking you guys through how to create a table in HTML. A table is a combination of rows and columns. These are some of the key codes we really need to take note: the TR, the TH and the TD. TR stands for the table row and the TH stands for the table header. TD is the one for the table data. And then these are some of the two terms we also need to know as an addition: the col span and row span. Let me say you want to give an increase in your cell, in the column cell. There you need to use col span. If you want to increase the number of cells in a single row, then you have to use a row span. Table creation is really very important in HTML and web development, because if you really dive into designing websites, then there you really need to know how to also create a table in HTML, because in the future time you will be given a job by the client and you need to put in some information in form of rows and columns. There you will be required to use a table. So I have already created my folder on the desktop and I named it as table. So now let me just open my text editor, VS Code. Just click on enter to open it. My folder from here, I go to open folder. Yeah, this is my folder that I have now opened in VS Code. So I'll create a file. Let me name it as index.html. So this is my file that I created, and this is where I'm going to put my HTML code. So our title for today is table. How to create tables. Just write table. That is our title. And inside my body tag, this is where I'll put my table tag. So earlier we defined the table as a combination of rows and columns. So we have to put a row inside our table, and we shall use tr as I summarized already in the notepad. So this is going to be our first row. Let me say we are designing a table for student information in a school. That means this is our first row, and inside our row let us put a table heading, which is the th. Inside our th I will put student information. Student information. This is going to be our very first row, and our very first row is going to be having our very first table heading, which is student information. So now let's get the second row as tr, and inside here we shall put a table heading as well. This one would be student ID. Let me first type this, and I again give you more explanation. Then I'll put another table heading here, another th, and I put first name. Last name. H. So let me save this and I run it in the browser so that you can see the output. I'll just right click and I open with live server. So my live server is running and it is opening it in browser, so you can see this is our first table heading, and it is our first row as well. So you can see now this is the first row and this is the second row, as we have put here in our code. You can see we have two rows. There is this one, and then the second row is this one. So here now we need to put some table data. Now that we have come up with the titles, this is the first title, and then this is the second title in the second row. Let us fill in some information. Let me say the first student ID, and we have to put that one in the third row. This is how you really deal with tables. You need to know how to write these codes. You open the table row and you close the table row. So inside here, let us put table data. We are not going to use this time we are not using table header. We are just going to use table data. That is the TD. Let me say our first student ID is going to be student 100 S100. This is our first student ID, and then the first name, we have to also put it inside the table data. Let me say the first name is Jeremiah. Then Jeremiah's last name, we have to also put it inside the table data. Jeremiah Enoch. Jeremiah Enoch is 20 years old. Let's save and we preview it in our browser. So you can now see we have the student ID of S100. The first name is Jeremiah and the last name is Enoch. Enoch is 20 years old. So this is now our table. You might not see the lines because we have not yet put the border. So let me put the border of 1 to show you that we have come up with a table, and we have to put it inside our table border. This one, just put border 1. You save and then you preview in your browser. So you can now see we have come up with a table, and it is having a title of student information, and then the second title is student ID. So you can now see the student ID here is the TH table header, and that's why it is darker than the rest of the text down here. These two, student ID, first name, last name, age, all these titles you're seeing here, they are in bold compared to the table data. Reason being, these ones are table headers, TH, while this one, the S100 up to 20, these ones, they are just table data. That's why they are not in bold. And these ones are the titles because they are TH. Now, we are still having some little stuff to do here. The student information implies at the moment that it is just the heading for the student ID and S100. Let us put more call span. This one. the call span, which is used to set the number of columns a cell should span in a table. So let me minimize this page, and then we come here. So this is where we are going to do that, and we have to, inside the th, let's add a call span. Let us add call span of 4 to give more space. Save, and you preview. You can now see student information is in the center, and it is the heading for all the student ID, the first name, last name, and age. So now we have come up with our table. Let me say you are adding another record. How do we do that? You come back to your code and you create another row, tr. Inside your table row, you put table data, which is the td. Let me say this is S200, and the second name, here you come up with the first name actually, with the td, and then you come with Kato, and then you come up with another td, which is going to hold the second name, which is the td. Let me say Kato Brian. Another td for the age, to hold the age. Kato Brian is, let me say this guy is younger than the first guy by 2 years, so this guy is 18 years. You save that, and you can see we have another record of Kato Brian. So in order for you to add more records, you have to first add a row, because now you can see here we have 4 rows. This is the first row, second row, third, and fourth. And indeed we have 4 rows here. The first one is here. This is the first row, then the second row, and then this is the third, and finally the fourth one is here. So this is how you create your rows with their table heading and table data. Make sure that you open the table and you close it, and then inside the table you have to put your rows, and then inside your rows you put the table heading, and then later you put your table data that will hold the information for each and every student. So this is how you come up with a table in HTML, guys. I hope this video has been helpful, and if you have anything to say, please let me know by commenting it down on our YouTube channel. And if you are still new, I do encourage you to subscribe to our channel for more updates. So I can now close my text editor, and we are done for today. So this is our browser, how we have been previewing our work, how to create a table, and that is it. Bye for now.